Welcome to the apartment. I'm Asif Ali. This is
Ali Baluch.
Oh man, we got something for you today.
Yeah, I changed my shirt.
Good.
After like 10
You got
episodes.
your Christmas sweater on. You don't even celebrate Christmas.
After 10 episodes, I decided to switch it up and,
Why aren't you wearing a normal shirt?
Why are you going to bring this up right now?
I want to body shame you on the podcast. Too many burritos. My co-host is eating too many night burritos and night pizzas.
Donuts.
Oh,
I don't do pizza, but I did some donuts last night. I just don't fit in my slim fit shirts anymore, man. Anyways.
Hashtag baluch too fat.
Baluch too
Using
fat.
the number 2. Let's get that trending.
Anyway, today
Anyways.
we have a great guest. But before we get into our guest, we have a special announcement. We have something.
This is actually good news.
Yeah, this is good news, right? So I was like, I wanted to create something. Like we all sat and discussed, like, what can we do to like kind of like give back to like these dope people
Yes.
that have been supporting us. And we decided to launch a Patreon. A Patreon is basically this website where you can I originally want to do like this newsletter, and I know I've talked about it a lot on my YouNows. We want to do newsletters.
Yeah.
But this was just an easier way. So with $1 a month,
Yes.
$1,
It's just $1.
it's just like 4 quarters.
It's a penny over 99 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with that $1 a month, you get a lot of deleted scenes
A ton.
because a lot of our interviews run really long, and we have to trim the fat, and some of them are good content. It just doesn't fit with that discussion, so
Right.
we can throw that. Some outtakes, because getting these intros isn't that easy.
It takes a long time.
It takes multiple takes.
50% of this group is very unprofessional.
And also, over the next few months, we can definitely add more features. But for right now, I never wanted to like burden someone's pocket,
Yes.
So like I want to honestly make it at 99 cents, but they didn't give us the 99 cents.
Also, we
options.
shoot this out of our pocket. Like,
That
we're in
is
the
true.
negative.
Yeah. And I don't want to like dig for sponsorships because
No.
I don't want like every episode to be like, this episode is brought to you by blah, blah, blah. Make sure to go on this site and throw in our
For, like,
promo
15
code.
minutes up top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, if we can just skip that and,
Get right to the content.
So the links will be in the description. Check it out. Throw in $1
Yes.
a month and, $12 a year. That's nothing. It's
nothing.
nothing. Bro, I spend that much on a burrito.
On a burrito that ruins your body. Yep.
That I can't wear my shirts anymore. Anyway, we have a great guest for them today.
Who do we have?
Today we have supereeego,
Supereeego. Huge.
also known as Eric Ochoa.
Yes. That's his legal name.
So this dude, man, he's one of the OG YouTubers. He's been around since the beginning of he was one of those early big YouTubers.
Yeah.
And we really dive into his history, where he's at right now, and just like
Where he's going.
And we get pretty deep with this episode, as we always do,
So here we go. Here it is.
This is episode number 10. This is our 10th episode.
Oh, man.
Hey,
This is
celebrate,
great.
man.
Oh, man.
Okay, well, you guys are here for the ride, man.
Yes.
All right.
Enjoy. Eric Ochoa.
So today we have Eric Ochoa, also known as supereeego, a Southern California native. He is a YouTuber, Viner, comedian, and an actor, man.
How many things are you going to do, man?
Yeah, he's doing it all.
Save us some jobs.
Mostly YouTube, not too much Vine at all. I mean, I chop
it's
it up.
over. Yeah. The Vine era has passed.
R.I.P. Vine.
Yeah. His hilarious comedic sketches are hugely popular and primarily dissect the Mexican-American experience. Eric has over 28 million Vine loops, 2.4 million YouTube subscribers, and currently he just the season aired, the final episode aired for season finale YouTube Red's original series, Single by 30, with that he did with Wong Fu Productions, man.
Welcome.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you for coming by, man. And on such, actually it wasn't last minute notice, but you still agreed, and that means a lot,
Yeah.
So we'll basically start off with like just growing up, man. You grew up here in Southern California, not too far out from here in LA. You were in Wilma, right? Right outside of Long Beach, correct?
Wilmas, yeah.
Well, yeah. How was
Wilmas.
that growing up there, man?
It was cool. I don't. There was a lot of crazy things that happened back when I was a woman.
I can only
Like good or bad?
A lot of bad. A lot of bad. I was like the beginning of the podcast is like, oh, let's talk about some bad stuff.
No.
I mean, you can.
We can highlight anything,
Yeah, no. It was cool. It was just me, my brother, my mom, and my dad when he was with us at the time.
Yeah.
And you know, we were all just kind of hanging out. Like it was like this little house, 1 bedroom, one bath, in an alley. It was on Pioneer. And,
Wow.
And on G Street,
Yeah.
right next to Dell's Car Wash. So if anyone watching?
Shout out to Dell's Car Wash.
Dell's Car Wash.
If it's still around.
It's still around, actually.
Wow.
So do you go back to the old neighborhood?
I think about 6 months ago I went and I
okay.
checked out everything. My grandma's house used to be like around the corner.
Yeah.
So anytime like we wanted to get something to eat or
You go there.
we need to get like babysat.
Yeah.
Just go to my grandma's.
Yeah.
We called her Ama in Spanish. Ama.
That means aunt in Farsi from Afghanistan.
Word.
We call our aunts ama.
Ama.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. We didn't have bikes or anything. Instead, we used one of those like you know how like the mechanics get under those like little flatbeds that get on that?
Yeah.
So me and my brother, we used to tie a string on that. We'd sit on it.
Oh man.
And
somebody have to
we
pull
just
it?
gotta pull each other around.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. And then me and my brother, we would like to play hide and seek a lot. We hide in trash cans, anything. We were
I feel like
really
hide
good
and
at it.
seek is international.
Yeah.
Right.
No
I think
matter where
anybody.
you go, hide and seek is top 5 children's games if you can afford video games or
Yep.
technology. I played it a lot.
Yeah.
Also, beating up your younger sibling is also a top 5
Yeah.
international
Universal.
game. It's a universal game.
Very
Yeah.
universal. You know.
I loved my little brother. I love my little brother a lot.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
So your neighborhood, was it predominantly Hispanic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Predominantly Hispanic. Yes.
So you never really had to like deal with too much of like groups of communities not really understanding, like you being, did you ever feel out of place in anywhere that you kind of went to growing up?
Not really.
Okay.
Like I felt like I was in place wherever I went.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I got older where you slowly start to discover and you're like, oh, that's what racism is.
Oh,
Or
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
oh, okay. Oh, because of the color of my skin.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
people, okay, this is weird. But yeah, no, growing up, everyone was cool. Like I felt like everybody kind of like knew each other and
Yeah.
everyone got along well. I mean, there was always a bunch of like crime things that happened down that same alley.
Yeah.
My grandfather got stabbed.
Oh no!
Yeah,
Over
he-
just what?
He was an ice cream dude. You know, he just sold ice cream, and I guess someone like was cracked out.
Yeah.
And they like stabbed him, and my mom actually came out, and my mom's a very religious woman. You know,
Yeah.
we all grew up in Compton. That's where we go back and forth to Compton,
Yeah.
a Christian church. And my mom, she just comes out and she says some sort of verse from the Bible. She's like, in the name of God, and the lady like freaked out, dropped the knife, and took off running.
Oh my
And
God.
my grandfather was there on the floor. I was a kid.
Yeah.
I was out there with like an ice cream, and I'm like staring, and I'm just so like, what's going on? Like I didn't
You
even
have
know.
no way to process it.
I
You're
don't
so
know
young.
what just happened.
Yeah.
You know, my mom's just yelling at me. She's like, get inside. And I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
So I go inside, and all of a sudden my grandpa's inside, and my mom helps him in. He's like bleeding all over the floor. My mom like covers him up so we don't see it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and I remember like the ambulance coming in, and I got excited because
Yeah,
the
you-
ambulance was there.
You don't know what's going on.
But
You
I
see
didn't know
lights.
what was happening. Yeah, so I remember that just growing up on Pioneer, and that's pretty much it.
Was he all right?
He was okay.
Okay,
You know, he's
yeah.
still good. He's alive and breathing now. He's
Oh,
got
no way.
scars. Yeah, he's good.
Okay.
He's like 90.
He can use that as like currency against you when you're like, my life is hard. He's like, I got stabbed
Just like-
selling ice cream.
Yeah.
You piece of shit.
So
It's like, you're good.
your mom was born and raised here in Compton, right?
She was raised in Compton. Yeah.
Okay, but she was born.
She's 8 out of 9 kids.
Oh wow! So when did they all make the move to LA, or like not LA but like Southern California?
Well, I mean, little by little, I think all of my aunts and uncles, they kind of just like got married, and then y'all just like moved out on their own.
Yeah. Who was like the first one to get settled?
The eldest, you know.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
eldest, my
Okay.
tia.
Yeah,
my
yeah.
tia Basti. Yeah.
Okay.
Really, really cool. But yeah, my mom was like, she always said that she was kind of like the black sheep in her family, you know,
Yeah.
and whatnot. But I feel like my mom was always like the cool one. Like as of right now, she's known as the cool tia.
Yeah.
You know, and that means that she's like a little bit rebellious.
Yep.
You know, she'll be the first one to say like that bad word in front of like all these Christian people. You know, like
Yeah.
you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
You know, but I love my mom, and I think the reason I'm involved in acting today is because of her. You know, because she's just so silly, she's so out there, and yeah, I just was never really afraid to do that.
For
you know?
sure.
So,
Yeah, and you know, your grandfather was a pastor, correct?
he was a pastor. Yeah.
Is he? And this was the one who was stabbed.
No, not him.
Okay, your
So my
dad's.
dad's dad. Yeah.
Okay.
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 Yeah.
So, I mean, you kind of were one of the OG YouTubers, you know, you were one of the original guys from like the early days, you know?
2008?
Yeah, 2008. Yeah. So you were in college at the time, correct?
Yeah,
like when everything just kind of popped off. Mm-hmm. So you, Cerritos College.
Yeah, I went to Cerritos. Wow.
So we do our
you guys did your
homework.
homework,
We do our research, yeah.
So what did you study when you were in school?
I'll be honest, like I went and had fun. I went and grabbed whatever class I wanted to take. Mm-hmm. So
cool.
I took an acting class. I took an improv class.
Oh, wow.
I took a singing class. I took more acting classes.
Yeah.
I eventually ended up getting all the other prerequisites I needed for. What did I end up getting? Like a political science. I got a.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I just had that.
Yeah.
And I left. I got an AA in that, and I was like,
yeah.
Because my mom, I had to deal with my mom. She was like, "Look, I know you want to do this acting thing. Just give me a degree. Just give me a degree." I was like, "You didn't say what kind?"
Yeah.
Boom. So I just gave her that one.
Political science is a pretty
good one.
Yeah, I mean,
legit.
it's useless. It's a useless degree.
Unless you become a lawyer.
Unless you become a lawyer.
It's pretty useful.
Which I'm not interested in.
Yeah, for all you people, all you kids out there that are studying political science, don't waste money. Because you just did just to please your mom, right? It wasn't
Right.
something like, I want to get... Now, you're... I'm fascinated that you brought that up. Were you ever into politics? Because your content isn't very political.
No, not at all. I sat down with the counselor, and they looked at everything that I've taken, and they're like, the closest one that you have right now to get an associate's is political science. So you need to take this class, that. And I'm like, cool. And I did it all in one semester, crunched it out.
Yeah. So you're okay.
I'm out.
So you're never really like into like the political.
No.
It's okay. So right now we're speaking on politics.
If you want to. Ugh.
Well, I
Sure.
mean, your father, I was watching one of your videos. You said you mentioned that he was sent back to Mexico, correct? Mm-hmm. Now with the whole Trump, was that deportation or was that what happened with that?
Yeah, he got deported.
Okay.
Exiled, actually.
Okay.
What's the difference? What is there a difference?
You can't come back to the country.
You can never come
years.
back.
For 10, I think
10
it's
years.
like 10 years. But okay, so my dad was and this is something I grew up not again, like I was oblivious to a lot of things growing up, and like the problems that my mom and my dad had. And apparently my dad was like low-key, like schizophrenic, bipolar a little bit. He heard voices, and he had he had a very deep relationship with God, and a lot of times his actions were based off of that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm a little older now. My dad's doing graveyard shift for a tow truck company.
Yeah.
And so for the city of Long Beach. And I get this call. My mom and dad are separated now 2 years. I'm 15. I get this call from my dad a couple of days, and he goes, "Hey, we're gonna be rich. We're gonna have so much money. We're gonna be rich." And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, I don't get it. So he tells me, "Oh yeah, I just have to go and fire my boss, and then tell him that God wants me to take over."
Okay.
I was like,
What?
I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
So I call his brother, my uncle, my Tío Juan, and I tell him everything. He's like, "Yeah, no, we're gonna keep an eye on him." Turns out he went and told his boss, like, "Yo, God wants me to take over, so I'm gonna have to fire you."
Yeah.
And
So if you want to pack up by lunch, that'd be great.
yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
So the guy was like, "You're crazy, get out of here."
Yeah.
My dad took off in one of the company's tow trucks, and he was on a high-speed pursuit chase. This was back in 2001. It was a few days before 9/11.
Oh my God.
And so here's my dad going out, and
Yeah.
he's got the radio on, so he knows when they're laying like the spike strips and whatnot.
That's smart.
I was like, well, all right, Dad, cool.
He knows what he's doing.
My aunts, everybody starts calling the police station, telling them immediately, like, "Yo, he's got a condition. Like, please don't let this turn out to be something bad."
That's crazy.
Finally, his tires, they pop. The whole thing catches in flames, and my dad comes out, hands up. They're telling him hands up. He's like, shrugs them off. They shoot him with beanbags, take him in, and
Yeah. It's crazy, man, because one, that they shot him, and two is like that could have easily been like live rounds, and they could have justified that. Like cops will do anything. We have very strong feelings.
I guess you were lucky
towards-
that he got beanbagged.
Yeah.
It could have been much worse.
So with that happening, did you well, now with the whole political climate of like Trump, I hate bringing Trump up, but like his whole thing about like, yeah, we're going to deport people, this and that. How does that like affect you or like just like your community, you know? Like, is it just like we've just kind of had enough of people like this type of rhetoric, this like racist rhetoric, or like how has it been like affecting the Mexican American community?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously it upsets us a lot.
For sure.
It upsets me. I'll be honest, like I don't take that guy serious.
Yeah.
I see all of it, and like I think it's gotten to a point where I'm like, this guy's just kind of like a joke.
Mm-hmm.
So I really don't believe a lot of what he's saying, or even if he does get into office, like things are gonna go down the way he thinks. It's just I don't see it happening that way. As far as like family and people that react to it, I mean, they obviously hate the guy.
Of course, yeah.
But what I think what bugs me most is like hearing people like, just like the other day I was like at the post office, and some guy was like standing behind me. It's like a really long line. Who cares? You're at the post office. Yeah. I just hear him mumble something to the lady behind him, just like, yeah, you know, this wouldn't happen if Trump was here.
Oh my God.
If Trump's here, he'd fix all this. It'd all go away. And
He'd fix the post office line?
He'd fix the post office? Come on, dude. What's wrong with you? Some lady comes up to him. She's like, if you actually want to mail that right now, we have like an automated thing where you can expedite the whole process. Like, no thanks. Those things are going to run human beings out of business. Just like,
oh my God.
Well, Trump's all about efficiency and getting rid of like cost less. So he's down to get rid of jobs, man.
Jeez.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's weird, man. Like to me, like I think it's a joke. I think it's a show a little bit. So I don't put my mind into that too much.
Yeah. So your videos are very comedic, you know. Did you have any like influences growing up? Did you have any like, did you look up to be like, this guy's really funny, I love his content?
Because there weren't any like big YouTubers when you started, because you were sort of that first wave.
So I'm assuming that you kind of just attach like your traditional,
right.
You know,
well, I didn't see anyone else doing it. You know? So immediately, like me growing up, like I loved Jim Carrey. I loved watching a lot of Jim Carrey, and I loved doing like impressions and whatnot, right? Sure. So when I see him, I immediately was like, okay, who else? Because there was like a Cantinflas. I don't know if you guys know. No. Cantinflas is a really popular Mexican American. Like he was an actor, very very physical, kind of like the Latin Charlie Chaplin.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait, what era was he really popping off in?
He was popping off in the in the 70s, I want to say.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think I know.
60s, 70s. I might be saying that wrong. I just saw a movie about him, but
the movie that came out, right?
Around the World. In,
okay.
180 days, something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
But like, like I used to just watch a lot of his flicks, with my dad when he was around too. So with that being said, like I met with some friends, my buddy Timothy Delgado, he's also on YouTube, my boy PD Flow, Rick, and we all used to do like videos in high school before YouTube was even a thing. So from that point on, after YouTube came along, we were like, whoa, we can put our stuff somewhere? Like, cool, right on. We all opened up our own channel. I actually had a channel back in 2006, but like we don't talk about that channel because it was a tester.
For sure. We've all had that.
Right. So the first thing I thought was like, all right, I was raised around a lot of cholos, Mexican gangsters, and I was like, cool, let me just test this out. And I tell this story a lot. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to just be a cholo, how to be a cholo, and we'll see. Hopefully I don't get my ass beat.
Yeah.
We're going to get down crazy today, all right? We're going to teach you guys how to be a cholo, I said. How to be a cholo, you know what I'm saying?
Put it up. People were liking it. People were digging it. People, all of a sudden, like, I felt connected to a whole bunch of other people on the map that was just like, aha, that's funny. Like, we totally get that. Like, the same thing in my part of town, whatever. So that was the very first time like I was starting to like really mess around with like a cholo character. Yeah. And then from there I just started doing more things that I liked. I was a big fan of like Michael Jackson. So I did The Way You Make Me Feel. Yeah. I was like, damn, how do I do it? Like I really want to dance and like kind of sing it. I'm like, I'll do it as a cholo. Yeah. So a lot of times I would just kind of incorporate the cholo character. Yeah. Kind of get things what I wanted to do done.
Yeah. So I mean, the videos came out and it was really funny. And there's like this like that famous reason why Chappelle kind of left Chappelle's show was because he got to a point where he was like, oh, I noticed people were laughing at me instead of with me. And so you do like this character, like this comedic character. Did you ever get to a point where like you're walking down and you see other ethnicities or other races like basically like, hey, I saw your video, and then they do the impersonation. And do you ever like get to a point where you're like, hey, that's offensive? You like, I was doing it as a joke, but like some people took it too far. Have you ever felt that?
No.
Okay.
I don't feel offended at all. Like if people come up to me, like even like white people have come up to me, and I'm like, oh, you watch my shit? Like, hey, yeah, no. I mean, I was raised around a lot of like cholos too. I was like, okay, cool. If they do an impression, like I'll laugh at them. Like, cool, man.
Yeah.
The only thing about me is like whenever someone first meets me and they hear me talk, like they hear me talk like this, you know, they were expecting, I think, like an accent or something like this, you know, like, hey, so what's up? Like they're totally thrown off, like, oh, your voice is different.
Yeah, they're like I don't like this guy anymore.
Yeah, this guy,
he's turned off.
Like, it's like, are you real? Like, like, yeah, sure, dude.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so I always find that very funny.
Yeah. So did you ever do anything in your videos where like you did it, you put it out there, and then you're like, shit, I think I might have gone a little too far, you know? Did you ever feel that?
What could I have done?
So you, okay.
I mean, I'm thinking about it. Like, sometimes, like, if I'm like, oh, okay, maybe that was offensive. Oh, well. Yeah. Like, sometimes I'll just kind of have that a little bit of an attitude, but like, as long as it comes across funny and like, and if people have a sense of humor, you know, they stay on. Yeah.
Have you ever been like, had any like backlash with the Mexican American community to be like, yo, you're like perpetuating like a caricature, you know, of a stereotype? So have they like come at you, and like how'd you deal with it? Was there like
there's always people who don't like anything,
right?
Yeah,
right. Yeah, there's always gonna be someone.
Or was it received well by the Mexican American community? How was it? You know,
the Mexican American community like receives it well. If I have like any like people from like Mexico, they'll sit there and type in Spanish like, oh, this is not like how we act, this is not how we talk. We don't dress like cholos. That's a Mexican American thing. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I get that. But like, you know, like things that I've learned from like my families that come from Mexico and have been Americanized, sure, but like at the same time, I feel still rooted to a lot of their own roots. You know, you know, but it's never like, oh, I feel like so offended by it. You know, like a lot of times I just get upset, like, you know, to be like misrepresented.
Right. But it's, you know, I feel like it's just more like lightheartedly, because like for me it's all about like being like, it's all about love, man. It's all about love and like comedic, like just cracking a smile. Like, does your mom do this? My mom does too. Does she put foil on like the stove? Like, oh my god, mine does too. I mean, when I was watching a lot of your videos, like even back in the day, I was like, very relatable to like a Middle Eastern household, you know. Like my mom, would do a lot of these things, you know. I was beat just like that, you know.
Plus the thing with the character,
I'd find that in the comments too. Like other races would pop in and they'd be like, yo, the same thing with my family, you know, too.
Plus the thing with the character stuff is like, I think sometimes people feel like offended because they think that you're saying like everybody acts like this, when in reality you're saying this is a character, it's one dude. This is a specific person,
right? And not only that, but it's also attracting other people that obviously feel related to, like oh my god, like the same thing with me, you know. Like, my family does that.
Are you saying like this is my video of every Mexican person in the world?
It's gotten to a point where like I do like a little like title thing that just like says something like, oh yeah, in case you guys get offended, you know, like this is, you know, what we've grown up to believe.
Right. So
that way some people are just like, I mean, sometimes they'll blow past that and they'll still be like, this is stupid, you know?
Yeah. Do you still do live shows?
No. Oh wow, man, you really dig,
bro, man. We do our research here.
We haven't done a live show in a long time. It's probably been about 3 years. But yeah, me and my boy Alex Sleepy Brown is his character. We used to just like those live shows. We did like Dallas, Houston, I think maybe Arizona, up and down Southern California.
What would you guys do at the shows?
We would do like skits, like kind of skits on stage, and then raps, like raps that we have up online.
Nice.
And we'd interact with people. We'd have them come up on stage.
People love that. Yeah. People love that.
No, and we loved it. We loved, like, the energy was great, and people that came out in support. So, thanks.
So you talked about like starting off the series, you know, like that was like one of your first videos, the life of a cholo, you know. Right. What, or was it how to be cholo? What inspired the life of a cholo? You know, that series.
What inspired it?
Because you're like, I feel like that was like a one-off video, and now when you saw the success of that video, were you like, oh, I'm gonna continue with this?
Yeah.
Did you know in some way like this is the direction I'm gonna go, or did once that blew up, you're like, this is it? this is what I'm gonna run with.
Yeah. I think it was a little of both. I definitely liked I mean, like I said, I was a little backstory. When my mom, she had a boyfriend, and he was a tattoo artist.
Yeah.
So then now we're in Paramount at this point.
Yeah.
He would always have a bunch of like cholo dudes come up, and he'd do like all these tats on them, and they were
Really complicated tattoos also.
very, like the
Yeah.
Aztec calendar,
Yeah.
and then dude, it was he'd spend
They,
hours.
they take the art serious, you know.
Very serious. Yeah, no, he was a very good artist. But they would always come over, and I was young, and like I never wanted to be like a cholo, you know, because I feared my mom in the belt. Like if I ever did anything bad. But like I would look at like the way they act, the way they talked, and I would mimic it a little bit.
Yeah,
you
because
know?
you're around it.
Yeah, because I'm around it. So whenever it came to like the videos, and I was like, let me just give this a shot. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I saw that people, you know, really liked the character. I was like, cool. Let me see what else I can do with this character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also like I would also see like cholos in like movies and whatnot, like Selena and whatever, and I was like, or Blood In, Blood Out. And I was like, I think I could be a little better than that. You know? I think I could do that.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So I'll give it a shot, and then Cholo Adventures happened. It wasn't until like I put up like the first 3 videos.
Yeah.
Where I started to really call it like Cholo Adventures. I think like the first one was like Cholo's Meet.
Yeah.
Or Cholo 1, I don't know. And then like a year or 6 months in, I was just like, it's like Cholos, I don't know, like they're on an adventure. Let me just try that out for a little bit.
Yeah.
And it stuck.
Okay.
And then now it's episodical, and now.
Yeah, for sure. So what is a cholo?
For the people
For the people who are watching,
who don't know.
Well, as far as to paint the picture, you see the guys like with the bandanas or with like the baggy shirts or the shaved heads.
Yeah.
A cholo is a Mexican American, like.
What's the word itself, cholo? What does that translate into anything? Or?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
it's just
like a slang word that
it's
just
a slang word that kind of just comes
just
from
stuck.
it. But I know for a lot of times it's like Chicanos, which is Mexican Americans. But
Yeah.
back then it was really just cholos where it would kind of come together to kind of protect each other.
Yeah.
You know, against other races.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, any type of
No,
racism,
the history, especially here in Los Angeles, you know, from the Zoot Suit riots back in.
Yeah, back from the Zoot Suits, yeah.
Yeah, the persecution.
Yeah.
And that continued, and especially in Los Angeles, you know, it's been, so I would understand why they would like
Almost like a block watch situation.
Yeah, kind of, you know.
Protecting yourself and protecting a group of you.
The
and,
community
you know,
and everything. Yeah.
Like I have your back type of deal.
Yeah.
You know.
So okay, so that kind of happens. One thing that I was watching that I really loved on one of your channels, because I think it was split, was the Luchador series.
Oh yeah.
Yo, tell me about that. Tell me the background. Tell me, did you grow up watching like that style of wrestling?
I didn't grow up watching it, but like I would catch, you know, some things here and there when I go to like my grandparents' house. And then I went to like my first lucha match, and I remember like falling in love with it, like thinking like
It's very
this-
intense.
How long ago
if
was
you
that?
think-
It's more intense than WWE.
Yeah,
Oh,
people
no,
think WWE is
100%.
crazy.
No,
but, like,
this is crazy.
How long ago was that?
The last one that I went
Well,
to.
like the first one you went to.
I don't remember.
Like how old were you? Were you
maybe-
young?
maybe like 15ish.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
15.
okay.
But yeah, I just remember seeing a lot of that kind of stuff. And what happened is like I ended up having like an idea like for a script. And me and my buddy Jesse Salmon, he's a director based out in Texas. And I talked to him, and I was just like, yo, man, what if we write like a luchador story? You know, kind of like Nacho Libre meets something comical. And, and like, I mean, Nacho Libre is comical.
Yeah.
But like, we just take it to like a more modern, you know, world right now. And he's just like, yeah, let's do it. So I told Univision, I'm with Univision, you know. I work with them. And they heard about the idea, and they were just like, yo, we want to do a series with you. I'm like, cool, yeah, well, I mean, I have this script. You know, like, do you guys want to do a movie? Like, that'd be cool too. Or they're like, we want to do a series right now. What if we did like you training to become a luchador?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's do that.
That sounds, yeah.
They're like, yeah, we're gonna just document the whole entire thing. So yeah, they put me in there with this guy that like knew everything about luchador.
Ready? Bridge up. Put your head on the mat.
I thought maybe it was gonna be a little easier. I didn't expect it to be like this. It's pretty tough. Or the world of it, and they trained me for about a couple months. I actually broke my 11th posterior rib.
Well, that's how you know you were doing it right.
Yeah. No, it's pretty intense. They're like, I remember on the first day they're like, all right, we're gonna learn how to do like backdrops. I'm like, what? Like, yeah, you're just gonna jump up, and then you're gonna land on your back.
Smack your back
Like,
on.
who wants to do that?
Yeah.
Unless I'm on my bed, you know. Like,
Right.
But like, yeah, we were just doing all that, and I think the series turned out great. Like, the only reason why we did it was just to lead up to like an actual live match.
Yeah.
So we went for it, and yeah.
How was that? How was the whole that experience? I mean, like obviously you broke your back literally.
So
Yeah.
you didn't leave being like, oh, if YouTube doesn't work out,
Yeah.
I got my backup.
I just trained to be a pro wrestler.
I was thinking about it. I was like, I mean, maybe I could just do this on the side or at night or fight crime. I don't
Nobody
know.
would know. You'd be wearing a mask.
Yeah. You had your mask on and everything, man.
No, I enjoyed it, but it was definitely like I need to kind of move on with like other things, other
Yeah,
projects
yeah.
that I had in mind.
Yeah.
But it was definitely really, really fun to do.
Oh,
Yeah.
I bet. Now, how did Wong Fu come about? The new YouTube Red series.
Do you remember our pact? I am 30 in 5 months. Let's help each other date, knowing we can fall back on a friendship.
Wow, that is the most stupidest thing I've ever heard.
How did that? Did they approach you? Did you or?
Yeah, they approached me. They got my number through my buddy Tim, and they hit me up, and they were just like, I remember Tim, he hit me up. He's like, "Yo, they want you in like this new series, blah blah." And immediately I was like, "Yo, as long as I'm not playing a cholo, dude." And then,
But you're like a cholo in college, man.
Yeah.
It's different.
it's completely different. Yeah, you're more modern.
Yeah.
Hipster cholo.
Yeah.
But it's just like, and then out of nowhere, I get a random number in a text, and it's just like, "Yo, it's Phil. You're not playing a cholo."
Okay.
Right.
So
That's
immediately,
good.
he hit
That's
me
all
up.
you want.
Yeah,
That's all you
that's
want.
all I wanted. But yeah, and then from there, they told me the story, and they were like,
So what's the show about exactly?
The show's about two friends.
Mm-hmm.
They meet in high school. They make this pact to marry each other if they're both still single by 30.
Yeah.
Lead characters Keena Grannis, Harry Shum junior
Mm-hmm.
from Shadowhunters,
Yeah.
Glee.
Really?
So and then my character is Mark. I play the best friend. He's kind of more like the outgoing
Yeah.
guy, kind of just like pushing him, like quit being a little bitch.
Yeah,
Like, just
yeah.
Go ask her
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Everybody needs that guy.
Right.
You need that. You
My
need
cousin's that guy to me.
that. It's
Yeah?
important.
Yeah.
Just kind of pushes you.
It's
Yeah,
always
yeah.
the same thing too. Just like, why are you being such a bitch, man? And you're like, you're on speakerphone. Please stop. My mom's here.
When did you guys start filming with that?
We started March.
Oh, so it was earlier.
Yeah,
this year.
earlier this year.
Oh, that's a quick turnaround for.
Yeah.
And how
It was
long
around
is
March.
each episode?
Each episode about 24,
25
25
minutes.
minutes.
How did you like the process? Because working on YouTube, where it's sort of like you think of the idea, you do it immediately. It's like instant gratification. You do it, it's done, it's out. It's all like it could even be in one day if you wanted to.
Yeah.
I work more in traditional television, and the process when I explain it to people, I'm just like, get ready to wait a lot.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah,
a lot
when
of
it
just
comes to that,
hanging.
right.
Everything takes so long.
Yeah.
So was that weird for you to adjust to that, just having everything take so long? They're like, you're going to do this, and it's going to come out 7 months from now.
Yeah. I actually thought 7 months. I was like, oh, really that fast?
Oh, really?
Because I've been a part of other project. I did a film with Fox Digital Studios,
Yeah.
called Mono, and that took like over a year and a half.
Wow.
I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, for
Wow.
everything of it. But yeah, 7 months wasn't bad. Like we were all excited about it. We're all like kind of, slow, like low key hyping it on Instagram
Yeah.
and whatnot. So
Yeah.
it was exciting.
Now
It
that
was
it's
fun.
out, how's that?
How's the
been?
response been?
It's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I mean, we could only see responses off like the first video because it's on YouTube Red.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
so
yeah.
like they give you the first one
For the free, yeah.
You see all the comments. You see all like like people saying good stuff. But like as the episodes go, like you're like, ooh, what do they? I can't see what they say.
Yeah.
Because they're disabled comments. So.
yeah.
But as far as social media goes, like people are sending screenshots. Hit you up on Twitter.
That's awesome, man.
And that feels great.
Yeah.
It feels really good.
So like, let's jump back again to when you first kind of like got into the YouTube game. Like, how receptive were your folks or your mom? Was she like, what are you doing? Like, why are you filming?
Yeah.
Or was she supportive? How was that?
Yeah.
My mom was like supportive, but at the same time she was like, "Be careful! Like look at what you're doing. You're pretending to be a cholo, and what if one of these guys really catch you out here? Like, what are you gonna do?" And then like also my stepdad at the time, so he was just like, "Yeah, well, what are you gonna do about that? Like, you gotta be careful. You're gonna get shanked out there, dude."
Yeah.
So the very first time that I knew that like I was okay, I was walking around the mall.
Yeah.
And I've talked about this too. I was walking around the mall, and there's this dude. He's like tatted,
Just
all
mean mugging.
his dude,
Yeah, yeah.
shaved. He's walking past me. I'm just like walking, and I look at him, and he looks at me, and right after he crosses me, he goes, "Hey, yo, ego!" I was like, "Oh shit!"
You're like, this is the day I die.
Yeah, this is it. I guess it's over.
In front of the Auntie Anne's pretzel and the milk.
Cinnabon. Yeah. No, this dude, like, he turns around and says, hey, you're that fool that does them YouTube videos, huh? And I'm like, my heart's beating.
You're like, yeah.
I'm like, I could just say no. I could play it off, act like I'm someone else.
Yeah.
So I just chin up and I'm like, yeah. He goes, hey, well, that shit's funny, dog. And he, like, dads me, you know. He's like, keep it up, bro. You're keeping it up for the raza, you know, like you're putting yourself out there, and that's cool, man.
Yeah.
And you're not, like, making fun of us, you know, like the way you're doing it, like you know, you're bringing a light to it, dog. Like, I like it, dog. I was like, all right, cool. Thanks, man. I appreciate it, man. Cool,
Yeah.
thanks, man.
Just like dripping in sweat. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm very comfortable. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
It's funny. She's like, I'm a rapper too. Hey, if you ever need me, dog, like, take down my number. I'm like, yeah, sure. When he wrote it down.
Let me ask you a question. How many phone numbers of people who are very dangerous do you have on your phone, like that guy?
They're very dangerous.
That are terrifying to the average person?
I'd say a few. I'd say a few.
Yeah.
That just combine
Just kind
like
of turn on a dime, or have definitely said like, yeah, no, I definitely want to kill somebody before I die.
And you're like, cool, man. Nice to meet you.
all right, sure, dude.
Yeah. So I know you mentioned like your mom was very like protective. So what kind of prevented you from going down the path of, you know?
Oh, she scared the shit out of me, dude.
Yeah?
My mom would. I feared my mom a lot. She was just. She had that tight lip on me all the time.
Yeah.
Just
Because
like,
it was a protective thing. 'Cause she's like, if I don't do this, then you're
Yeah.
going to be out in the streets and something bad is going to happen to you.
right, and the same thing was like her upbringing. Like her father was extremely strict, and,
Yeah.
and he was actually pretty abusive too. Like he was physically abusive, verbally. And so she, like, that's the only way she knew.
Yeah.
You know, but there was just a lot of things that she like closed me from. I couldn't watch specific things like the Power Rangers.
Oh, wow.
You know,
And she's like, I don't want you to think that you have powers.
I don't want you to think you're a power or a
you're
ranger.
just a regular kid, okay?
You relax. You stay in your place.
Yeah.
No, but she was like offended by like the witch Rita. You know,
okay.
Understandable.
or the monsters.
Yeah.
So like I was that kid that grew up even like when all the kids were talking about The Simpsons, they were just oh, did you ever watch that episode of The Simpsons? I'm just like
I wasn't allowed to watch The
nah.
Simpsons either. My
Oh,
dad,
really?
my dad would not let me watch The Simpsons.
Because Bart was a bad
Yeah,
influence. You know what I
because
mean?
the way he was like disrespecting.
Yeah.
And then
his
you think
dad.
about it now, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh, Bart Simpson's like it's like Sesame Street compared
compared
to
to
Oh,
the
now, yeah.
compared to like everything that's out now.
Even what you watch on South Park too. you know,
Yeah.
which I love.
Yeah. I wasn't allowed to watch Simpsons. So
Really?
because my dad, same reasons, you know.
Yeah.
But so your mom had that like. You
Yeah,
know,
she kind of had us like locked down with like, you know, you can only watch specific things. We watched like Salty, the praise book, which was like something you get at like one of those Christian stores.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
we
There's
love
nothing
that,
worse
you know?
than watching a show when you know there's a way better show that everyone else is watching.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
Dude.
like everyone's watching something else. So
it was the worst, man. I'd show up and like nobody wanted to talk to me. You know,
Yeah.
they was just like, oh, you don't know, all right.
yeah. So you know your grandfather being a pastor, your mom being extremely religious and spiritual. Like, how has that played into your life today? Do you see yourself being more spiritual? Do you see yourself going back to church with your mom every Sunday, or how? How is religion?
I try to go to church as much as I can. My mom still goes to church. She goes to church out here in Paramount. Like I still have my firm belief in God. You know, I still believe in God, and I will forever be grateful for the love that I have in my family.
For sure.
And that through God, you know.
Yeah.
But it's not something that I'm not always at church. You
Yeah.
know? I know that even with my videos, you know, sometimes like
Yeah.
I feel like it's against what I'm doing. You know. Like
Yeah.
some of the bad, foul language.
Yeah.
But no, I always feel like people just I personally feel like you can just have a deep conversation with God in your head, you know, and you're cool, you know, like I have a relationship with God, you know. I feel like I don't really need to go to a church in order to have that connection.
Yeah. For sure.
If I want to give my tithes, you know, I do it, man. But
So, like, did anyone from your church ever be like, "Yo, man, I love your videos," you know? Yeah.
Oh, that must be great.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's great, but at the same time, bad because like sometimes they're little kids too. They
You're
come
like,
up
"You
and I'm
shouldn't be
like,
watching,
oh,
man."
yo, dude, don't pay attention to those bad words, okay?
Yeah.
They're like, that's okay. My parents say them all the time.
This
Oh,
is,
okay.
yeah, they go to their mom. They're like, "This is the guy who taught me everything that you hate."
He taught me those words. Him, that's the guy. So, I don't think we finished the thought of like, so your mom was a little bit hesitant. Your mom and your stepdad at the time were hesitant of you getting into it. But then they saw the success?
Yeah, when was the turning point where they were like, oh, okay, you're all right?
When I started like helping my mom out with bills.
Okay.
It's always money.
Yeah.
Same thing for me. When I was doing stand-up, they were like, this is terrible, this is terrible. And then the moment I could buy things, they were like, okay.
Yeah.
That's really, at the end of the day, that's all it is.
I mean, but at the same time, they're like looking out for you. You know,
Yeah.
they want to make sure you're successful in what
and
you're
that you
doing.
can eat.
Yeah, you're putting food in your stomach, right?
Yeah.
But she was supportive in the way, like, just kind of like, you know, like I said, get that degree, make sure, you know, like, you don't get your ass beat.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then second, you know, just make sure it's taking care of you.
Yeah.
And now it's gotten to the point where like it's taking care of her as well. You know?
Yeah.
So she's very grateful, and I always come back to her, I'm like, Mom, thank you so much for not being like one of those moms that were like, no, you can't do this. You have to become like a doctor. You have to go do this. What I tell you to do? She was very open, like, just, you know what, go do what you want to do. Do what you love. And let it be about
Just
that.
be smart about it.
Yeah. So I'm very grateful that I had that, because I don't think she had that type of opportunity.
Yeah.
You know? So.
You've been like we mentioned, you've been in the game for a long time. You know, for like the past 8 years, 9 years. And you've stayed relevant, over and it's really hard. A lot
It's hard to do, yeah.
A lot of YouTubers were like those OG guys started,
Right.
and then
just fade
Fizzed
away.
out.
Yeah.
So how, and you've seen a lot of people come and go too, I'm
Yeah.
sure. How has that been? What did you do different that kind of kept you above, you know?
What I think is like the support and like the loyalty I have from like my fan base. Like I legit have an amazing fan base. I don't know what it is. Like, I feel like maybe if I continue, and because I don't even post that often either.
Yeah.
I feel like other people maybe on YouTube, like, they want to have like a schedule. We're gonna do like every weekly thing, or we're gonna do like 3 videos. And I felt like, at least at the time, like I was gonna just burn myself out. I was gonna probably hate the character, hate what I was doing, not think it's funny anymore, and it wouldn't be about like being passionate or loving. But I think they just kind of like hung on, or like they kind of like spread the word, I guess.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So I don't know what it is, you know, my inconsistency.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
They're like, you guys got to
lack thereof.
subscribe to this guy. You don't know when he's going to put a video.
Yeah, you never know, but when he does, cool.
It's great.
Yeah.
So
So how, I mean, like, and you've seen like a lot of people come and go, you know?
yeah, no, I've definitely seen some people.
Yeah.
That when they first came, like, whoa, dude, these guys, this is killing it. You know,
Yeah,
these guys
yeah.
killing it. Like, maybe I should do a little bit of like, no, I'm gonna just stick to my own thing.
Yeah.
And then, you know, they fizzle out, and I'm just like, cool. All right.
No, have you noticed, was there like a trend in like these, because there are a lot of people that are hot for like a year, maybe like 6 months, they're popping and then they die out. Have you noticed that? Is there a pattern in these like YouTubers that kind of like, just for people who are watching that want to get into the game and they're like, how can I have that longevity like you do?
You know what I think it is, man? Like, I personally, I come from a world like where I want to become an actor. Like, I'm using YouTube as a platform to elevate me and move on.
Yeah.
I think some of these people just come on and they just want like, they immediately want the fame, they immediately want the money.
Yeah.
So I think that's the wrong mentality to have, especially like when you hop on YouTube. You know, like I think. Like if you want to grow from here, like if like what's the next step? You should always have that, you know, in the back of your head. And
What's the long-term strategy?
what's long term?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well,
And
I mean,
so-
like you've been successful at it. You're on that TV show,
Thanks, yeah.
YouTube Red series, which I consider like a TV show now.
it's a
You
TV
know,
show.
Yeah.
full on production and everything.
Yeah, no, everything
You
looks
know?
great. Like everyone's really professional. You know, YouTube Red, pretty awesome.
What was the food like on set, though? Let's get real for a second.
Let's get real.
Yeah.
It was really good, actually.
was good?
Yeah, it was really good. Like all the meals are completely. It's super hot. You have your cookies at the end.
Did you
yeah.
find yourself having to regulate yourself? Because sometimes when I work on things and the food's good, you can really get off the rails.
Oh, you can let yourself
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
set, just
No,
eating those cookies. Yeah.
Well, something that I started to learn even from like working with other actors, like Harry Shum Jr. He's got like an amazing like toned up body.
Yeah.
And I remember one time he was talking about like. He's like, don't ever go like for like the chips, because that's where everyone goes. They go towards like the chips, the goldfish, and they have everything in craft, dude. Like they
that's the
got
thing.
it, dude.
I
They
love
got all
craft.
the
It's Willy
sweets.
Wonka situation where
Bro,
they have
they
everything
got
you can
you.
think of. Yeah.
Everything. And then like back behind everything, there's like the fruits, like oranges, your tangerines, your bananas, apples.
Yeah.
So like I've started to tell myself like, all right, just go towards the fruit instead.
Yeah.
But food's great.
Okay. Shifting gears, going in a completely different direction. In your opinion, have the opportunities improved at all for Latinos in the entertainment industry? I mean, have things gotten better representation? Have you?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. Going back to that Mono movie, the role that I went for was actually supposed to be for like a Caucasian guy. Like,
Oh, wow.
like it was like a Caucasian hulking white like dude like lineman.
Yeah.
And when they had me come in and read, I was just like, all right, like did they not see like what I look like?
Yeah,
I don't know. Like, I was like, cool. Well, fuck it. I went in. And the director liked what he saw, you know. So I just played like a super cocky dude. I mean that was the character Moose. His name is Moose. And then they were like, yeah, you got it, dude. Like you got the role for you. And in my head, like immediately want to ask, like, are you sure you guys wanted like a Latino guy for this?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Because like what it said, like the description. But yeah, like that for me, I felt like that was cool. I felt like they gave an opportunity like for like, yeah, we want this to be a little more diverse.
And it was based off of your talent. It wasn't necessarily based off of.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, I had to go in and audition for it
Exactly,
too.
yeah.
So it's like not like they just gave me the role, but yeah, the same thing for Single by 30. You know, like I had to go in and we have everything on that show. You know.
Oh,
like,
and I love that. That's what I love.
it's very
about
diverse.
that.
You know,
Yeah.
and I think it stays true to like the LA culture.
Yeah.
You know, because
It's reality.
Yeah, it's reality. It's what
Yeah.
you see. So. I love that Wong Fu did that, you know,
Yeah.
like they were like, we need to make sure, you know, it's culturally diverse.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's everyone's represented, and
Yeah.
and I loved how they reached out to like every YouTuber that you know, and they were all in there. So you know that brings me to my next question. Like, so there is a massive amount of diversity and representation in YouTube and like digital media, right?
Yeah.
Why do you think it like Hollywood hasn't picked up on that? Because there is a market for, you know, they're like, oh, the Mexican American community, there's a massive community there. Why haven't they like feel like they haven't like poached?
I think it's just these older people that are still in control and they're afraid to take those chances
Yeah.
and risks. And
Oh,
right
yeah.
now they just see what's working. Like
Yeah.
this is still working.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
like
yeah.
so why are we gonna like try to?
Yeah,
you
making
know-
a change requires taking a chance. And if you have
Yeah.
no other, they work their system off of the previous, like, what did the past movies do?
Right.
And so.
And what's been working now, then
right,
and now.
right.
and-
Yeah.
So that
So I-
requires people to take risks.
Right. So I feel like just people, they're just a little afraid to kind of do it. But I think little by little, one toe at a time, you know, we kind of
The
just
cool
doing
thing
it.
though is like YouTube has become sort of, in my mind, sort of like the writing on the wall, where you look at that and you're like, man, it's so much more diverse and more
Yeah.
reflective of actual society.
Yeah.
And they're like, we either got to keep up or we're going to look incredibly outdated.
Yeah, and what's dope about YouTube, man, is like you're able to call the shots.
Yeah.
There's nobody there telling you like,
There's no
oh, we
network
don't
head.
want you saying that word. We don't
Yeah.
we don't want you talking about, you know, this or
There's
that.
no
like,
money at risk.
Or
No.
we don't believe like a guy that looks like this could do this, or a girl that looks like this
Yeah.
could do that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. And you just you go and prove everyone wrong. You know, you create your own platform and you do what you believe in, and
Yeah,
you have fun with it.
Definitely,
I love it.
You know, so what's something that the people don't know about you?
Now we're in the fire questions.
Now we're in the
zone.
fire under
Oh,
the
man.
microscope. Something guilty
I brought
pleasure.
my journal. Where is that?
Uh-oh. You think that is
Something people might not know too much. I love musicals.
Okay.
Oh.
Hairspray. I
Yeah,
remember
we
you
got-
saying
I like
Hairspray.
Hairspray.
Love
Yeah,
Hairspray.
the
Did
new
you see
one.
Hamilton?
No, not yet.
Oh, baby.
But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Lin-Manuel Miranda, he's a genius.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
gonna
no,
lose, you're gonna
I
lose your mind.
dude, no, I was listening to a little bit of like the album, you know, and Alexander helped me. I was just listening to a lot of it. And I was just like, yo, this dude's dope. I had to listen to it over and over just to kind of really understand. But I love musicals, man. I was in musicals also in high school. I did Little Shop of Horrors.
Ooh.
I played the sadistic dentist.
Yeah.
You know, Steve Martin did it in like the feature with
Yeah,
Rick
yeah.
Moranis. But yeah, I did that. Oklahoma, Bye Bye Birdie.
Oh.
I love music, man. Like I love getting into music. I don't really know how to play any instruments.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, the only instrument I ever played or learned was a ukulele, was just to impress a girl.
Yeah.
I remember that story. I remember that
Really?
story. Over the Rainbow.
Over the rainbow, man. Okay, you're right.
Bro,
you did
we
your
do our
homework.
research here,
Ah.
man. We do our homework.
Yeah, I did a whole video dedicated to that. you know?
Yeah.
How to get a girl.
Oh, is that how they get her? I didn't see it in that
Well,
one.
I put it. That's,
Okay.
that's what I titled it.
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
Get
So-
some views.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know you have like 3 channels. You have your main channel, your daily vlog channel, and your Amigo, right?
Amigo channel, yeah.
But did you ever feel like, all right, you know, I've gone with this cholo character for like 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
Time to retire him and move on. Or do you feel like, has he ever that character restricted you in any way?
You know what? I fight back and forth with that.
Oh,
thought.
really?
So I don't even have a like an answer, but like I go back and forth. I I still do it because I know that the fans love it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So like I give it to them, you know, and because like I feel like I owe a lot to them.
It's
just
like the
supporting.
least you could do.
Yeah,
For
the
being
least,
with
right,
me for the
right,
past-
for being with me and just
Yeah.
supporting me and loving what me and my friends, you know, put on YouTube.
Yeah.
But like, I do test it. I do test the waters. I do try other characters,
Yeah.
and I'm happy I do because of that. Other people actually see it, and that's how I actually become a part of other projects.
And you have like a platform where if you put something out, X amount of people will actually see it. It's
Yeah.
not like you're just throwing characters
Right.
into the abyss. Because of this character that you've done so successfully, now you can branch out and there are eyes to
Yeah.
watch your stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I did a video called meeting my girlfriend's parents or something. We're like in a car
And driving
Yeah.
Yeah,
around.
driving my girlfriend's parents.
You're not doing any porn shit, are you?
Oh no. Well, not anymore.
What?
Kidding, it's a joke.
My dad doesn't like jokes like that.
No, mijita, está bien. Eric, tell us another joke.
Wait, is he kidding right now? Because I have another joke. And so again, I'm just myself.
Yeah.
I'm not being a cholo. I'm just and it was very like I didn't want to overact or anything because like sometimes with my character I get very cartoony.
Yeah.
Right. Or some people call it overacting, whatever.
Still
no.
acting.
It's
Acting
still
is
acting.
still in the name.
Yeah.
But like I was just like, all right, I'm gonna just be more subtle, you know.
Yeah.
So everything was just subtle, and some people were like, I got new viewers off of that. You know, people were just like, oh yeah, I really like this. Oh, this is funny, dude. Like I really like your stuff. But like some of my other like more cholo dedicated fans were like, what is this, dude? You're not even funny in this.
Oh, man.
Like dude, like are you even trying? Like
felt
this
like-
guy's not trying anymore.
I
I'm
felt like you were just being yourself and like,
yeah, just being yourself and
I don't like
boring.
that. If you're not a cartoon, how do I know you're acting, bro?
Yeah.
Like this sucks.
All right, now I'm
Yeah.
offended. I'm
You went
offended.
too far with
Getting
that.
out of here. No.
Yeah.
But because of that, that's when Wong Fu actually hit me.
Yeah,
They're like,
yeah.
yeah, we saw that video, and that's when we knew like, okay, we wanted you in this serious like kind of dramedy.
Yeah.
Video. I'm like tight.
Awesome,
Right,
man.
man.
That's been
Yeah.
great. So, what's next for you?
Well, that Luchador movie.
Okay. So the movie is happening.
Yeah, there's.
When does that come out?
I don't want to say too much right now
Okay.
because it's still
It's
a
a-
lot of things in the works.
Yeah.
But yeah, that comes out. It's a good like coming of age story, and
Is it going to be a digital release?
who knows?
Okay.
Depends on who
Oh,
gives us
wow.
the most money.
Money
You know,
for
no.
sure. It all comes back to that. kids.
as long as anyone can see it, you know, like I just want to make sure everyone can see it, and
Yeah.
and I don't know. I would love to have it in a festival. You know what I
course,
mean?
of
Like,
course.
of course.
Yeah.
I still that in the back of my head. I still want something to be like in a theater. There's that prestige to just like see
Yeah.
your project. In a
That'll
theater.
never go away,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always gonna be there, right?
right? Yeah.
But I got that, and then
You have Single by 30. You have
Single by
that.
30.
Any passion projects that you're like working on or anything that's
Yes.
okay?
Yeah. I got
Anything?
one, and it's actually with the cholo.
Okay.
Yeah, it's another music video.
Nice.
I did a long time ago. I did like a Today Was a Good Day to Be a Cholo.
Okay. Yeah.
Like a Ice Cube.
Yeah.
It's basically he's just blocking any negativity that comes towards his way, and he's turning it into a positive. So I have another version of that, but it's just gonna go like extreme, like bad.
Yeah.
And then he's gonna see like okay, let's see how he turns this into a positive.
Yeah.
Try that. So I'm just taking up another level there. I really want to just kind of focus more on like growing the YouTube right now. And yeah, I got that movie, and then there's talks about a couple other features that I'm gonna be in this year. But
Oh
like,
man,
you know,
that's so exciting.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
We'll see.
Amazing. We're so happy that you came and.
Well,
talked.
but last question.
Yes.
It might be irrelevant, but I'm always just curious about it, especially for like the OG guys. You know,
Here we go.
YouTube beef,
Oh
especially
shit.
with other creators.
Oh shit.
Especially-
I'm a huge fan of rap beef. I actually got into rap because
Oh,
of
yeah, I
rap
remember.
beef.
But
It's my
they're
favorite
like,
thing in the world.
Like the YouTube beef
and
is
I
like
didn't know that YouTube beef was a thing.
such a thing.
And then
Oh, yeah.
he turned me on to it.
it's so low key, like because like I would always hang
It's
out
very
with like,
subliminal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
and but like have you ever experienced that with like not other creators but specifically other like Mexican or Hispanic Latino American
like you
creators because you're like, yo man, you're biting my style,
Yeah.
and you're extremely offensive
Because
with
everyone
them.
either feels like they invented the thing
Right.
that somebody else is doing that is
No,
popular.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Like with the cholo character, as soon as I started, because like there's another cholo guy that does cholo videos,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I remember when he was first popping off, and I was just like, yo, this guy's actually like really funny.
Oh, okay.
You know, so there was a little bit of like competitiveness in me. I think it pushed me.
Okay.
I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like
I have
alright,
to be
yeah,
better.
Yeah, I have to be better. And
Yeah.
and I was happy that he came along. And actually, me and him are really good friends now.
Mm-hmm.
But what I ended up realizing was like I was happier that there was more Latino people like online
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
Like after I felt like okay, like once I'm like okay, competitive. Do I know my worth? Like am I good enough? I felt like okay, cool, I'm doing good enough.
Okay.
You know, because you want to make sure what you're doing is
course,
great.
yeah.
But at the same time, like I was just like I'm happy that there's someone else out there.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not the only one.
Yeah, yeah.
So I embraced it. Now as far as YouTube beef.
Yeah.
Long ago, back when I started my alter ego channel, which is my vlog channel, I started off one video with like a prank, and it was a fake prank actually.
Bro.
But then again,
I know all about
then,
You don't gotta tell this
I know
guy.
I know now. I
know
know
all
about
about-
that.
yeah.
But I was pretending to shave my friend's head, but he was already gonna shave it anyways.
Yeah,
So all of a sudden I get this comment, and he's just like, "Yo, this prank is whack. Come to our channel, where you can see his real pranks."
And it was Fusi too. No, I'm kidding.
It was prank versus prank.
Fuck them. Oh my god.
It was Jesse.
He talked shit
Yeah,
on
but
your video.
right. So like at the beginning, I was like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" I was like, "Well, fuck you, dude. Quit,
Yeah,
quit
yeah.
trying to fucking spam up my shit." You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
back
yeah.
then, you know, when spamming, you're like, it was like a
Yeah.
you know, the lowest of the low. You know, like,
Right. Yeah.
So years go by, and I you know, Jesse obviously they
blew
popped
up.
off.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
I see him at like a VidCon or something, and he looks at me. I look at him, and I'm like, "Yo," and he goes, "Yo, what's up, man?" You know, and so we dabbed, and like immediately we were cool. We were
Yeah,
immediately
yeah.
cool. I'm like, "Do you remember?" Like he's like, "Yeah, dude, I remember back. I was spamming your shit back then. Like I was just trying to get views, dude, and you were getting them at the time. You know?" And I was
Damn.
like, "Crazy."
That is crazy, man.
So what's up? Let's collab or something.
Nah, man, that's
No,
hilarious.
but he's a good guy. He's a good guy. But that's like the
Maybe.
closest I've ever
Yeah.
gotten to any type of beef, really.
Yeah.
You know.
Hey, man. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
swinging by for like this past hour. It's been
And,
great.
and good luck with all your probably. I mean, you're busy.
Yeah. A lot
You're
of
making shit
cool
happen.
things that are happening.
You're making shit happen, man.
Yeah.
And it's great. And I just love hearing about the uplifting of other Latino American creators,
Absolutely.
where you're like, I love seeing it, and you're like, and you know, I love just them instead of being like, nah, fuck that, you know.
Because there's too much jealousy, man,
Yeah.
and that sucks. That sucks because whenever you have that jealousy, then you create this hate, and then all of a sudden it's like
just
you guys-
bad.
It's so bad.
It's very like crabs in a bucket shit. And
Uplifting
that's a
one
waste of
another
time.
is so important.
Yeah.
It's like that's the best way of success is when you can wish success for like your
Yeah.
brother, you know. So, bro, man, thank you so
Thank you
much
so much, man.
for gracing
Absolutely.
us.
Thank you guys so
And-
much for
all right,
having
man.
me, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate
All right, awesome.
Yeah. I didn't know that you were not joking. He's been around for quite some time.
He's been in the game since like 08, man.
He's diversified.
He's
is what I
diversified,
like.
and he stayed relevant. A lot of YouTubers have come and go.
Yeah,
and
he's
he
been
talked-
around.
and he talked about that, and he's been around. I really enjoyed the conversation. I enjoyed this episode. But speaking of this episode,
Yes.
we have entire collection of 9 other great episodes.
Hot fire.
Check out last week's episode with Maz Jabrani.
Mm-hmm.
Check out the week before that with Fahim Anwar. Check out the one, actually everyone's seen the one with Yusuf.
Yes.
But we also have dope midweek memories.
Ooh,
or
midweek
moments.
memories.
Or was it
Midweek moments.
Midweek moments.
Midweek moments. You guys voted on that name.
Yeah, and where we talk about current events, things that are happening in news, things that aren't being addressed. Last week we talked about
Columbus Day.
Fuck Columbus.
Fuck Columbus.
We talked about why we hate Columbus. The week
Why
bef-
everyone should hate Columbus.
Yeah, the week before that we talked about I don't remember, but I know we talked about like media misinformation. We talked about why Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are weird, and this week we talk about clowns.
Ooh.
The
all
clown,
those clowns.
like Asif and Baluch's thoughts on this clown crisis that is going on. So make sure you guys check out the midweek moments and
Subscribe.
subscribe. You must subscribe. Like the Facebook page. Send us the hate comments. I think people forgot to hate us.
Yeah, we keep reminding you to send us hateful comments,
Yet
and you just don't.
They're always like, I love this podcast. And I'm like, that's not what I want to hear.
You're getting off message.
Yeah, man. Focus. Stay focused.
Yeah.
Shout out to our producers, Imran
Yes.
J. Khan and Sumair Khan. And like we mentioned in the beginning of the episode, the Patreon.
The link will be
In the description, $1 a month. You get hilarious. Some of it's really not that funny. Some of it's just like us trying to figure out how to speak.
but most of it is hilarious.
Sure. And a lot of like some deleted scenes from some of the podcasts that we've done.
Some behind the scenes.
Yeah, $1 a month, baby.
That's it. That's all.
All right. Thank
We'll
you
see
so
you guys
much.
next week. This is The Apartment. I'm Asif Ali.
Ali Baluch.
Bye.
Bye.